Vlad went scorched earth on Nori on DJ Academics podcast. So Vlad TV tells Academics about this really huge beef he has with Nori. Now, Vlad has this policy. If he invites you on his channel and you come, he will come on your channel no matter how small it is, right? No matter how many subscribers. If you have 300 subscribers and you were a guest on Vlad TV, he will come and do your channel and your show. So he expects the same from bigger platforms or from platforms with similar size as him. Like, for example, he went on Piers Morgan. He invited Piers Morgan back and Piers Morgan dumped him. So now Vlad and Piers Morgan got issues in terms of he's not going to do Piers Morgan again, right? Angela Yee, right? Vlad went on Angela Yee's podcast. Angela Yee has been ducking Vlad to come on his show. So now Vlad don't rock with Angela Yee. So this is just a policy of Vlad. But with Vlad and Nori, it was a little different because Nori and Vlad was actually friends. Like they were actually like close friends, birthday parties, occasions, dinners. So the Vlad and Nori beef is a little deeper than the casual, hey, you don't want to come and do my show, I'm not rocking with you. But here is Vlad explaining why he has that policy and why he don't rock with anyone who don't return the favor or who don't reciprocate when he comes on their show.
I've always been very, like, if you do my show, I will do your show. And I overreact sometimes, but I always have a problem with people who I do their show. When it's time to return the favor, I get the like Angela Yee.
Yeah, that's how I felt about Charlemagne until this year.
Nori, the bull, the runaround. That's why I don't Nori anymore. I don't Angela Yee anymore because it's like,
Angela Yee?
Man, I did her show so many times. Like I used to do Sirius XM over and over again. I did the Breakfast Club hella times, and for the past year,
you know what? I have a theory.
For the past year, I was like, "Hey, listen, I'm coming to New York. I want to get her on my show, and I'll do her show also." Oh, she's really busy this week, blah blah. For a whole year, she's really busy. Oh, really? So if Usher showed up in town, she'd be busy? Nah, she just doesn't want to do my show. And I take that a little bit personally because it's like I did your show so many times.
Yeah.
And I asked for one appearance, and for a year I get to run around. All right, cool. I get it. I get the hint.
I started looking at that a little bit different. Again, I kind of felt the same with like Charlemagne. Charlemagne like would invite me to the Brilliant Idiots. I think I did like twice.
I did it once.
No problem. And I remember I had a Spotify deal. And I was like, one of the top people I want on, it was Charlemagne. I got shows, I got Joe, I got everybody. Of course, you were on like a million times. Right. Didn't get him on. And I was like, okay, he hits me for the Breakfast Club. Come Monday. He's like, come up Monday. It was like some controversy with me. I'm there. And I just couldn't get him for the show. And when I started to kind of look at those situations, like, it's like people who are on like those platforms, it's almost like they look at their platform as like more prestigious than yours. Like,
I'll tell you right now, this industry is super fake, bro. It's so fake, bro. It's fake, yo. Like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, I reached out to a couple of big outlets to have me on their show. Like most of them dubbed me. Like the only person who had me on was like Academics, Fresh and Fit had me on. I would say Boss Talk had me on. Real Life Street Stars had me on, right? And I asked damn near everybody to have me on. They dubbed me, right? So right now, again, I'm not like the biggest personality in the world. But right now, I feel like I'm in like a comfortable position. I probably won't do an interview anytime soon. Like I'm good. But just understanding like that experience and being in it where like I see these very same people who are like, who are rocking with me right now was dubbing me, like leaving me on red, like not trying to like, my thing is, at least tell me no. If I ask you, hey man, can I come on your show? I'm doing a press run. At least tell me, hey, no, I'm not gonna have you on. No, all right, sorry, not right now. But to just dub me is like, bro, I just felt like that was just hella disrespectful at the time. So I definitely understand. But in the case of Vlad, I don't think Angela Yee don't want to come on Vlad's channel because she don't think it does number or it's not important. I think Angela Yee has relationships with like PR people and labels and media personalities and people in the music industry who got a problem with Vlad. I feel like Angela Yee, like out of everyone else, like she has like close ties with like PR people and right, like she works deeply with those people. Like she came up with them. Like that's her crew of people, and those people got issues with Vlad. So I feel like her issue is more so she don't want to cross the picket line. Like she don't want to go over and work with Vlad when, everybody around her don't really like Vlad. I feel like that's the issue more so, because I don't even feel like she's scared of the questions that Vlad is going to ask, because I don't feel like Vlad is going to ask her anything crazy. Like, I feel like her and Vlad has a rapport, like she respects Vlad's work, Vlad respects hers, and Vlad's going to conduct a good interview that's going to do numbers. She's only doing it from my perspective because she is friends with people who don't like Vlad. Now, Vlad will continue and tell a story about Piers Morgan, how Piers Morgan did something similar, right? He went on Piers Morgan's show a couple of times. He asked Piers to come on his. Piers dubbed him. So Vlad, again, this is how you know like Vlad is serious about this. Piers Morgan is a really, 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 really big platform. They've invited Vlad on since. Vlad have said, no, I'm not doing your show at all. No, sorry, not happening. Because Piers Morgan wouldn't come and do Vlad.
Yeah, you're lucky to come to the Breakfast Club, but like me showing up to your podcast, I got way more important things to do.
I don't play that. Charlamagne has been on my podcast a bunch of times. Envy has been on my podcast multiple times, and now Jess Hilarious has been on my podcast as well. Like I expect payback, across the board. Now it doesn't. This is why I stopped doing Piers Morgan. Like, if you remember, I used to be on Piers Morgan all the time, and then it was like, hey, I'm trying to get Piers. He's really busy right now.
Piers is going to hit you.
Yeah, next month, check back with us. Next month comes around. Oh, he just got in that operation, blah, blah, blah.
Wait, so even with Piers, you were trying to do the reciprocal thing.
But then it's like, Piers wants you back on the show tomorrow. Can you change your...
Yeah.
And with Piers, it's like they got to send the van, and I got to change my schedule, and I got to go in the van, and I got to wait, and so forth. And after doing a show, 4 or 5 times, and I would show out on the show. Remember me and
you got into
Buzzme?
You got into
a damn screaming match on his show, on his platform, which went super viral. I heard Jay-Z loved it and everything else like that. But every time I asked, I would always get the runaround. But then they would come back and ask again to have me on the show, and I'm just like, I'm not doing this show anymore. Like honestly, I mean, I'm not going to say Piers, Morgan, but I'm saying you can't keep getting people on your show, and they have big platforms as well. And I seen you do Breakfast Club when you're in New York, but you never do my show. Well, I'm going to stop doing your show.
Yeah, it's a thing where to them there's a hierarchy when it comes to platform. Well, they kind of look at themselves. It's like
that, bro. All that. I don't care who you are. If
that with Rogan. If you did Rogan twice or 3 times, and then
if I did Rogan 4 or 5 times, I expect Rogan to come back. If I did Rogan, I would love to do Rogan. So obviously I would do Rogan if he asked me. But if I kept doing it over and over and over again,
I get it.
Repeat guy, and that's what I remember last time I was on Breakfast Club. I was like, Charlamagne, people think that me I've been doing Breakfast Club. I've done it the last 3 times, and he's like, no, you're right. Let me come back and do your show. You got to put the if people aren't paying each other, then you got to put your foot down. So me and Nori, I never talked about this publicly.
So he finally addresses the Nori situation. Now, the problem with Nori, from my perspective, because I feel like Vlad would have just simply said, hey, you don't want to come and do my show? Cool, I'm not doing your show again, and then leave it at that, and their friendship would have probably survived. But the problem with this Nori situation and why it became so toxic and so volatile is because Nori did the very same thing that Vlad hates, which is gave Vlad the runaround, lied multiple times, say we're going to do it, never do it, say he's busy, but then he does somebody else's platform. For example, he came to LA, Vlad says, let's do it. He says, oh yeah, let's do it for sure. Stops answering Vlad calls, but then he looks up and Nori does 3 different podcasts while in LA that were significantly smaller than Vlad's platform, right? Again, I don't think Vlad knows. Nori, I'm telling you, it's these PR people and these music industry people and these media people. It's the Matrix, it's the power-ups that don't like Vlad. So hence, a lot of people feel associating with Vlad is going to be bad business for them. I'm just being real, which I think is dumb, right? Because Vlad platform can only help you. So Nori does the very the very thing that he knows as Vlad's friend that's gonna tick off Vlad, which is just not being honest with him. And here are the steps that Nori took to avoid Vlad at every turn, instead of just telling him the truth. Hey, I'm not gonna do your platform because I don't want to do it.
Me and him had this weird. We were friends. He was doing Vlad TV a lot, and then when he got Drink Champs. He asked me to do the show. I said, sure, but I said, I'm not going to drink. And he got upset about that. Oh, but that's the format, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. There was a back and forth, and we stopped talking to each other for a while. And then I circled back with him maybe a couple of years ago, and I'm like, listen, you know something? My bad. I know this is your format. You've done my a bunch of times. I'm going to fly myself to Miami. I'm going to get my own hotel, my own security. I'm going to come do your show, and I'm going to drink. And I'll stay as long as you want.
Oh, that's
the
dope.
3-hour interview. It was one of the big, I think got like 2 million views on his YouTube channel. It was
Nice.
it was one of the big interviews on his channel during that time. And, we kind of got back into our friendship. I considered him an actual friend, right? Because the next day we went out drinking during the day and we caught up and, his wife was there and his friends were there and we, took pictures and it was dope. And now we're back in contact again and we're chilling and, we're talking to each other regularly. And maybe like a year passed. I say, hey, what do you think about doing Vlad TV? He's like, yeah, man, I got you. All right, cool. So I go to Miami, run around. He would hit me and he would ignore his calls, whatever. He'd be in LA. I tried to hit him. He wouldn't respond. Oh, my bad. I was doing this. Then I'll come back to Miami. Oh, yeah, no, we're going to do it this time. Run around. And then it was like the last time I was in Miami, like he told me he's going to do it, but then just wouldn't give me a time or a date. And it's getting close to the end of my trip, and I'm still getting the runaround. And it turned into like we started basically talking to each other over text. And at the end, he's like, something, man, I'm sorry. You my friend. Like, I'm tripping. You're right. When I come to LA, we're going to do this, whatever else.
You would think this would be the end of it, right? and here's where you have to 100% give Nori the blame in this situation, right? Even if you want to say, hey, before this mark right here, if you wanted to say, hey, Vlad, stop pushing the issue. He don't want to do it. So what? Leave him alone. Cool. But after he gave Vlad the runaround multiple times, they had the huge blowout. They fixed it. They solved it. They became cool again. And he promised Vlad, hey, when I come, we're going to do it. You know what Nori did? He came to LA. Vlad hit him up. Hey, bruh. Hey, son. Hey, bruh. I heard you in town. We're going to get it done. You know what Nori did? You know what Nori said? You know how Nori responded back to Vlad? You know the accusations he accused Vlad of?
You're right. When I come to LA, we're going to do this, whatever else comes to LA. Ignores my calls again. And then I seen him do a media run with like Tony Ayo and them and like do like a bunch of smaller, doing a bunch of small podcasts. And I was like, man, this, bro. This dude. And me and him, we got into a big back and forth.
Yeah.
And it was like, he was like, call me the N-word. I know you want to. And I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I got more black kids than you do. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's the best you got. He goes, oh, you racist. You don't own me. I said, we don't own each other. I did your show. I flew out, did your on my own dime. I'm already in your city. I'm just asking you to show up. You told me you would do it. And now you give me that around. So anyone doing Nori's show, just know that when it comes to return the favor, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
Start charging Nori to do champs from now on. Because know that when it comes, in return, he's going to do you. Nori's about Nori. His word don't mean he's a snake. That's the way I look at it. I don't Nori anymore.
I wonder how is Drink Champ still doing this? I felt like there was a time that
in this situation, I find it almost impossible that if you replace Vlad and put anybody else in his position or in that situation in his place, I find it impossible that anybody else wouldn't have issues with Nori. If you put me in Vlad's shoes or in Vlad's place in that Nori conflict, bruh, I might have let it slid the first couple of times, bruh. But you tell me, hey, bro, when I come to LA and you come to LA, at that point, I would feel like, okay, like you're disrespecting me. Like at that point, like, okay, bro, like you're wasting my time and you're playing around with me instead of just being real. So in this situation, like I'll be real, but I think Vlad is 100% justified in going at Nori and going off, right? And essentially ending the friendship, right? Like 1,000%. Because come on, bro, like yo, just be real with people, man. Hey, I can't do your show. You know why? Because hey, man, I feel like it's gonna mess things up for me. Cool, like keep it pushing, right? Or hey, Flacco, I can't have you on, man. You only got like 100,000 subs. I'm sorry. Cool. I appreciate it. All right, cool. But they W and they don't respond. But let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think about this? If you're still watching this video and you want to watch another good video, then click on this video right here, somewhere on my screen, somewhere here, or here, to find out why Stephen A. Smith snapped and had a meltdown on his podcast earlier today. I'm gonna see you guys in the Stephen A. Smith video. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.